Hi, welcome to AGodvlog. My name is Scott Elliott. I'm the pastor here at First Congregational United Church of Christ in Mount Vernon, Ohio. I want to talk a little bit about a story most of us know, the Good Samaritan. I want to discuss that for this week's vlog. Jesus was a storyteller whose repertoire included very effective use of parables, stories about ordinary things which draw on extraordinary illustrations. And they're meant to evoke contemplation and transformation. And through parables, Jesus painted and still paints for us visual pictures of how God connects us in the ordinary, how heaven's way could play out in earthly situations. And the parable of the Good Samaritan, which is in Matthew chapter 10, verses 25 to 37, it's a good example, maybe the most famous example too of Jesus' parables. But we need some background information to put it in context to get the full meaning that Jesus imparts, or imparted back then. We've lost some of it with this gloss of time and history. So let's go back a little bit and get some context. To start, Jesus' original audience would have identified with the Jewish victim in the story, not the Good Samaritans. Samaritans were hated and loathed in first century Palestine. They were an enemy, someone you just did not like. And the priests and the Levite in the story, the way Jesus tells it, would have been snickered at as bureaucrats of Rome's temple elite government, those folks who were working for Rome, not for the people necessarily. So to get the impact of this original context and how it alters the story, go and read the story in Matthew if you want to see the original again. And I'm gonna put the spin on it, so how it might be heard today, layering the context of what Jesus had and translating into our situation. So to get the impact of how this original context alters the story, consider this updated version of the story that I put together about a ODOT worker, a politician, someone we loathe, and a local person in trouble right here. So here's the story. A Knox County man was in a thunderstorm walking in a park when a huge tree fell over and hit him really hard. And he laid half dead, exposed on a park path. And a ODOT truck happened by. And when the driver saw the man on the path, he drove right on past. And so too, a politician slowed down to survey the damage, and he saw the man, but he just passed on by, and neither of those guys did anything to help. But a member of a motorcycle gang happened by, and when he saw the man, he was moved with pity, and he drove over to him, hopped off his bike, tossed off his leather jacket, and tended the man. He bandaged his wound, poured some water that he had with him to wash them off, and he called 911 right away. And he left his bike at the park and rode with the victim in the ambulance, telling the emergency room folks to take care of the man out of his own debit card for whatever insurance would not cover. And then he went on his way, leaving the man to be cared for and not have to worry about the debt that he would incur. Now, that's a far cry from a sweet neighbor doing a good deed example that we usually take away from the parable of the Good Samaritan. And after the ODOT guy and the politician walk away, the ordinary progression we'd expect in a story like this is a known rescuer type to appear, someone that you trust, a familiar hero, maybe Denzel Washington or Tom Cruise passing by. But something extraordinary happens instead. The way Jesus tells it, a Hell's Angel-like biker, a hated and loathed person in our mind, shows up. And our hope for rescue, standing in or laying in the injured man's shoes, is replaced by anxiousness and confusion. Half dead, we wonder what's going to happen. It's not going the way we expected when we listened to the story. We have no clue as to the outcome. Indeed, we fear that this biker will stop as we lay there helpless. He's dangerous. And when he does stop, we worry about our health. And when he moves to help, we even worry more. Is he going to look for our wallet? Is he going to beat us up further? Will he just run us over with his bike? What's he there to do to us? it doesn't live up to our expectation when he helps. He helps and he gives care and he rides with us in the ambulance and he offers to pay for it. And frankly, we worry about our reputation. We can't do anything about it, but there we are being associated with Hell's Angel, a biker person. Uh, Someone might think we are a part of that now. And so it becomes this topsy-turvy tale, not at all like we usually take away from when we hear the Good Samaritan story. The story understood in this radical, parabolic way makes us think way outside the box. It's a mind-bending experience. So many questions are evoked. What does Jesus mean by having someone that's hated or loathed rescue us? What are the boundaries of compassion? How do we feel? Why do we feel guilty for thinking ill of a motorcycle gang member or Hell's Angels in general? How is this the empire of God? How would we feel if we could not stop someone loathsome and hating from helping? Would we rather be dead than have that help? Would we help a Hell's Angel member lying on the street? If the situation was reversed, would we take the risk? Would we pay for his care? In light of the story, how would we stack up against the hated person, the Good Samaritan, the Hell's Angel person in the story? Could someone the culture considers loathsome really be more humane than us? Or the loathsome supposed to be loved and allowed to love us? It's quite the story. Jesus' story in all of these different lights offers a new world view. It's a parable drawn from common life that arrests us by its strangeness, moves our mind to sufficient doubt about its application, and leaves us wrestling about what it illustrates. Can God actually be experienced through acts of compassion by someone we are told and taught to loathe and hate, and vice versa? I'm not sure, not our earthly experience or expectation as we move through life. But you know what? Jesus left us, the stories he left us, and still gives to us peace that's not of this world, right? Jesus calls us to be good neighbors, radically good neighbors, to do to others what we would want done to ourselves. We're to be so radical. We're to love even those that we're supposed to hate. And like it or not, that sure sounds like the gospel to me. Different way to hear this story. I'm glad you joined me this week. Thank you. Please go in peace, knowing that you are loved and that you matter much. Amen.